showtime! Woo! 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 Styling and profiling. Woo! It's live and in color. Woo!
Welcome to the AFC Shakedown. I'm your host, Tommy. And joining me, of course, is Trevor and Juan from Sports Dynasty Podcast. And we have, is he a special guest now? What is he? Captain D representing the Dolphins. What is going on, fellas? Man, the season finale of AFC East Shakedown.
Yes.
Juan has been MIA for 2 weeks, but he is back, baby. He's back better than ever. Trevor, also back, better than ever, I guess. Marty, are you better than ever, or you're getting there?
I'm almost there. Like I said, I feel much better than last week. I couldn't even talk. I couldn't even verbally speak because my throat was so destroyed.
Still did good, buddy.
Oh, horrible.
You still did good. And the AFC East champion, yet again. Captain D. What happened, Captain D? Let's start with the meltdown of the AFC East besides the Bills. Let's start with Captain D first, because I know the Patriots. They got a lot to say. So let's start with the Captain D, who is really feeling himself about, October, November. And boy, oh boy, a lot has happened. So go ahead, Captain D. The floor is yours.
The floor is mine. I'm going to start off in a different direction. I'm going to give, this is the first show in the new year. Much love. I appreciate having me on, and much love to the Hamlin family. And I hope that he is going to get a safe recovery, and Bills Mafia and all their training staff, whatever it might be that helped him out. That's much love out there. And also much love to Tommy. Tommy scored. He got Mr. Why So Serious Stevie Johnson. Much love for that. That was a big get right there. So I appreciate that as a Dolphins fan. I did not like Stevie Johnson for what he was doing, but I appreciate him as a player, and kudos to you. That's a big deal right there. So much love for that. Stevie Johnson was awesome. But where we're at right now with the Dolphins, that's tough right now. It's tough. We're on the horizon of one of the biggest franchise, debacles of all time. And we're facing the Jets that Joe Flacco's going to start.
Is he?
He is? Oh yeah, he is.
He is.
Joe Flacco is going to start.
Finally.
Okay.
Joe Flacco is going to start this game, and
finally,
Robert Saleh. I gotta love the guy.
By the way, I do hate to cut you off. So I got Captain D a Christmas gift. Got him a Tua Pop Funko, and I told him, "Don't burn that mo. You got to keep."
We'll touch on that later. We will touch on that later.
He's gonna burn it later. I can't wait to see it.
But listen, back to what you were saying. What you said. I've always said, the NFL season, this is a marathon. Teams that might start out real strong, towards the back end, they could struggle. So obviously, the Dolphins, we've had our struggles. I think it's a 5-game losing streak if I'm correct. But that's tough to watch, seeing that where we started from. So there's a lot of questions, and honestly, we don't deserve to be in the playoffs. The Bills are probably going to beat the Patriots, and
probably
if things pan out, we should beat the Jets. But that doesn't make us a viable playoff team. So yeah, the struggles are real, but we got some ironing out we got to do.
And I guess we'll speak on the Jets since question mark isn't here today. For the season finale. Shame on you, question mark. But they're a 7-win team. They're eliminated from the playoff.
They're also on a 5-game losing streak too.
Right. And I believe we called this week 1 when we had our little predictions that I said the Jets would be a 6 to 8 win team. And Yeah, that's pretty much what it's going to be. So it's pretty bad. The Jets have a long way to go. If you're a Jets fan, you're watching this, I'm sorry. Your defense is solid, but you have a really messed up quarterback room. I have no idea what you're going to do, but good luck there. Good luck to you. But yeah, man, the Dolphins, a little collapse there to what's your thoughts on Tua real quick, Captain D? So he started off, we all know, I think he had a good season to start, but we all know that the injuries kind of played a factor a little bit, and then also his play down the stretch. Let's not forget that. Let's not just say it's an injury thing, because it seemed like once he got on that road, that 3-game road trip I would say this, against the Bills, I thought he played okay. I thought he played pretty good against the Bills, but other than that, besides the Bills game, he's struggled, correct? I mean, how do you see Tua's play?
No, he's definitely struggled. And to be honest, I mean, with all the injuries that he's had in his short career, whether it be in college and professional, and even with the concussions this year, I think it's safe to say that he should probably, consider retiring. You know what I mean? I mean, hip injury. I tore my patellar just playing basketball. I couldn't imagine getting hip surgery, so many concussions, ankle surgery in college. I mean, I think the Dolphins this year going forward is going to be looking for a quarterback. I mean, that's just so many injuries, and you can see where it's affecting.
Do you draft one, because you got a lot? You don't have many picks, right? So it's not like you can make this epic trade, right? Because I was thinking Lamar initially, but I don't know if what you got to even get Lamar with, right? Like, you'd have to give up something. You don't have anything really.
I think now what they're going to do is depending on this game and what happens if we make the playoffs or not. But if we lose tomorrow, I think Mike McDaniel's on a very, very short leash going into next year. And there's going to be.
I'm glad you said that.
And
Trevor.
I'm glad you said that.
I'm being honest.
Go ahead, Trevor. What's going on? What do you think?
No. I'm glad he said that, because it just shows the dysfunction in the front office, which to me is the bigger problem for this franchise. So you mean to tell me that Brian Flores went 1-7 to start the season, finished 9-8, finished strong, you fired him. But Mike McDaniels is 8-3 and literally fizzles out at the end of the season. And so it's, at the end of the day, you have Chris Greer has no idea what to do or what direction he wants to go in. I don't understand. This is stupid. Now, if you fire him, then what? You fire him, then what? You still don't have a coach. You don't have a quarterback. Then what? Who's going to come to Miami with all this dysfunction? I'm just being honest. It doesn't make sense to me, honestly, and it doesn't make sense to me. So I'm sorry to cut you off, but it did make a lot of sense when you said that.
No, I do think that tomorrow, and then obviously, I think if we do transition into the playoffs, is gonna tell a lot. If Tua's, I don't think that he should come back at all. I really don't. I think that Teddy's obviously not the answer. Skylar Thompson, our 7th round pick, I think that he has all the intangibles, but the quick processing of what's going on right now in the NFL, making decisions, is tough for him right now. He needs time, I think. So I think
I got a guy for you. I don't like him, but I'm just throwing possibilities out there. Guys that are free agents next season, or guys that could potentially be cut, or maybe you trade. It's not as big as a trade for like Lamar. Derek Carr, one of them. Jimmy G, another. And Jimmy G, I'll say this: the Jimmy G, that might be your guy. And the reason why I'm thinking is he has a connection with your coach in San Francisco, and they have that already down. So if you're going to switch quarterback, I don't think it's the answer. But
if Tua's biggest problem is injuries, why would you get another guy who's older and just as brittle?
I don't know.
I don't understand that.
Honestly, I think the biggest answer is the most intriguing.
Exactly.
The most intriguing answer is Lamar Jackson.
What options you got too?
I think Lamar Jackson would be an interesting addition, but I do feel like our defense would have to tighten up a little bit. They play very good hard-nosed defense over there. I think that helps him in a way. He doesn't really have that much for what he does. So I think that our defense, obviously next year, Josh Boyer, unfortunately, it just hasn't worked out, and I think they need to adjust on the defensive coordinator and some additions at linebacker. Byron Jones, I don't know. I don't even know what the hell's going on with Byron Jones. That's a whole nother issue.
Gone.
But
that's what's gonna happen.
But the thing is, you gave your picks away for Hill. So I can't listen. Like Baltimore's not taking a 4th round pick, a 3rd round. They're gonna want some heavy duty picks for Lamar. So the only way I think that deal would get done, bro, is if you guys offer some heavy duty players like a Howard. Like you would have to give up somebody that they really want in return, and future picks. Do you want to give? Then you're really taking a big gamble. Then you got no picks at all in the future. You're going to trade away one of your better assets. That's rough. I think what the Dolphins wind up doing, I'll be honest with you, is getting like a Jimmy G. Even though Juan said it, fucking another guy that's can't stay healthy, but maybe you draft a quarterback while you get Jimmy G on like a 2-year deal. Draft another young guy, sit him behind Jimmy G. Obviously, it happened before to Jimmy G, so it's not like he wouldn't, be freaking out. Right? So it's very possible. But anyways, let's get to the Patriots side of things. Patriots, also another team that's been playing shaky, and Juan has not been happy. But they also got screwed in a few times. I think they got screwed on the Dolphins game too. Something happened, correct? Didn't something happen in that Dolphin game? I was like, oh my God, Juan is probably cursing up a storm right now. There was a play that happened in that game.
You told him on the beginning where somebody fumbled and then they decided not to give us the fumble. Yes, I remember. Which was the exact thing that should have happened the week before with Ramondre Stevenson, where they didn't call for a progress when he actually didn't fumble, but they made him fumble anyway. Yeah, I remember.
That's what it was. I was like, yo,
I remember.
I didn't even message you. I was like, I'm just staying away from this.
I remember.
Juan's probably throwing chairs out his window right now. I am not talking to Juan. So, what are you guys thinking about your Patriots? Week 18 now, full season. This is it, guys. So, how do you feel the season has gone? I mean, I can kind of guess by the look of your face, but I want to hear it from you.
I'm gonna go first.
I know.
The season for me was obviously a disaster. As a disaster of not epic proportions, but it was bad. It's a disaster. But yet, the football gods have given this fan base, given our fan base, well, the fan base, not us, because we're not stupid. The fan base hope that they're actually going to do something. Hey, they can still make the playoffs. Now, again, if that brain dead lateral play doesn't happen against the Raiders, or if they doesn't happen against the Raiders, they probably win that game. If the referees allowed them to not allow forward progress, we probably win the game against Cincinnati, to the point where we're not even talking about the week 18 game against the Bills. It doesn't even matter because we were in the playoffs. But no, they dropped 2 really, really bad games. Almost lost last week against the Dolphins. Let's be honest, almost lost that one too. But now you have the Patriots in the sense where we're playing as a Bills team who emotionally is ready to kick ass. And guess who's right in front of them? The New England Patriots, who, of course, they're going to get curb stomped straight to hell. And I knew this already. We knew this already. We knew this was going to happen. You gave the fan base hope for what? Just to give them hope that, oh, no, we can make the playoffs, and then what's going to happen to us? The Patriots are not winning this game. Patriots not aren't going to the playoffs. And why would we want to? For what?
So before we get into that game, so I guess where I'm going is so let's start from the beginning. So week 1 to now, obviously the offseason probably is where it started to go wrong, right? With getting Patricia and all that. But where do you think things kind of started derailing? You guys started derailing as far as, is it play calling? Is it just everything in the players? Is it coaching, more coaching? Like where would you point the finger at?
The play calling has been abysmal since the beginning of the season.
It's gotten the worse. Offense. Okay.
Yes, the offense has gotten worse every single game. And then what makes it worse is that with the injury happening to Mac, and then the ridiculous craving for Bailey Zappi, who I said when he drafted him was stupid enough. When I see him in the preseason. I said, no, this guy is no good. He's no good. I've been saying that. He's no good.
What?
I said he's no good in the preseason. And I wasn't going to allow the fan base to try to sway myself into thinking this guy is fucking good.
I tried.
You play against two of the worst defenses in the league in Cleveland and Detroit at the time. And you think, he's a world beater. Here comes Zappy. Here comes the Zappy train. And then when Matt Jones played one of his worst games in his career in Chicago, you bring in Zappy, and he made a fool of himself against the worst fucking team in the NFL in Chicago on Monday Night Football. So that means that shows you that no matter who's calling plays, any quarterback was doomed to fail.
This is a great question coming in for Chewy. He wants to know from Juan. How does he feel about Matt Patricia?
It's coming, my friend. It's coming.
Okay, well, Chewy, you got your response.
It's coming. But
So what needs to happen in the offseason? I'm just curious. What if you're, as a fan base, obviously you guys have been watching the Patriots a long time, like what do you guys need to do? Because is Mac Jones the answer? And I mean, honestly, I know you just were talking about him. Zappy's not the guy, but is Mac Jones? Can you build this team around Mac Jones? Or are you ready to move on like Captain D's ready to move on from Tua?
Juan and I were right when the moment we drafted him, and we were not happy about it, and we stood by.
I remember that. We were on the same show.
When we drafted him. We've seen sort of flashes of what he can do, but I feel like we've seen his ceiling. He's not gonna get any better than he already is. So yeah, this is what he's gonna get. And if Patriot fans are okay with being stuck in purgatory in mediocrity and purgatory, that is fine. That's fine. You can do that by yourselves, but I would not allow it until Robert Kraft takes control of his franchise and tells Bill Belichick to get in line and shit gotta change. We're going to be stuck in purgatory. This is why I don't want to make the playoffs, because if we make the playoffs, then we're basically saying that, but the terrible play calling, we still made the playoffs. Now, Patricia obviously did something right. No, we're not going to reward mediocrity. We're not going to reward bad behavior. I'm sorry. It's bad behavior. We're not going to reward it. And I will not stand for it. No, absolutely not. No. Do
you guys call him Noodle Arm Jones, or is it just somebody? Who's that? Are you guys? Is that a thing?
No,
or no?
Okay,
I don't
know what that is, but
okay.
Anyway,
so we got the Zappy Express and Noodle Arm Jones. So not good nicknames if that's true. I like Zappy Express, but I don't know, man. I think you guys got to get a quarterback, bro. I mean, I'm being honest with you. I know Captain D loves Mac Jones. You know what? Since Captain D loves Mac Jones so much, let's just ship on Mac Jones over to Miami, and let's get a quarterback. Let's see what Captain D likes. Mac Jones over there in Miami's shaking and baking. No, man, you guys need to move on from Mac Jones. I'm being honest. You don't want to get stuck in that cycle of what if. With Mac Jones, you've seen 2 seasons now of Mac Jones. You know what he is. From games I've seen him play, guys, I think he's average at everything. You know what I mean? I don't think he's above average in anything. I don't think he's below average. I think he's just an average quarterback. And you would have to build an unbelievable defense to get far with him. And I don't, that's tough nowadays. How many teams have done that throughout Super Bowl eras? Right, Baltimore, the Bucks, it's just not going to work with him. It's just not going to work with Mac Jones. That's just my opinion. Especially, and I'll tell you this, especially in the AFC, just in general, you got a lot of young quarterbacks now, right? Allen, Burrow, Herbert. There's a lot of young upcoming quarterbacks. Even Trevor Lawrence is starting to play good now. So you can't put Mac Jones in that list, bro. You can't. You got to look at Zach Wilson. Jets are already moving on. Yeah, hit the pine, buddy. Like you're going to start the CFL guy over you. Like that's bad. Like but at least the Jets are it looks like right now are probably moving on. Look how long the Raiders held on to Derek Carr for. I mean, it's just not working. So I think you guys eventually have to figure that out. And Patricia clearly is awful, and that's on GM Bill over there who hired him. I have no idea what he was thinking there. Like, I think GM Bill needs to be Coach Bill, and that's also another thing that needs to change in New England. I think Kraft has to eventually give him the talking to, and if he doesn't like it, have a good one, man. I mean, we had a long run. It was fun. We won a lot of chips, but this thing ain't working anymore. This cycle of GM/coach. That's just how I see it. And maybe Bill says, hey, cool, I'll be a coach, just coach. But I don't know if Bill's ready to give that up. What do you guys think? You think Trevor's ready to give that up? If he did, if your Kraft did, bring that to him as far as being, bringing a GM in, or no?
It's like trying to teach an old dog new tricks.
It's like Vince McMahon, right? He ain't going in.
Vince McMahon, too soon. That was incredible. I can't even get mad, but that was incredible.
Oh my God. They kind of are in almost the same kind of character. They come with swag on their shoulders. Oh my God. Anyways, all right, let's get to some week 17 games. Obviously, we'll start with the one that didn't happen, or happened, it didn't happen. Bills and Bengals. Monday Night Football. First quarter started off with a bang. Bengals went down, scored right away, which that's how the Bills been doing all season. We let this team score right away for some odd reason. Then we went down, we scored a field goal, and then in the very next series, that happened with DeMar Hamlin. So good news, though. DeMar Hamlin already tweeted today which is unbelievable. I mean, the whole week's been unbelievable, right? So since you got to give a lot of credit to the Bills staff, Cincinnati staff, the Cincinnati fans, Bills fan, everybody that was part of that, except for Skip, who's an idiot. But everybody else handled it very well, handled it like professionals, handled it like you're a human being and you care about somebody's health. Handled it the right way. But yeah, man, listen, if they say if you're gonna something like that's gonna happen, best place to be is a hospital or the NFL field. And boy, they got to him. Listen, guys, I was gonna be real with him, man. Like when they said CPR 9 minutes, that's not usually good. So the fact that he woke up 2 days later, responsive, no brain damage, that's unbelievable, man. That kid's has some luck on his side too. What did you feel about that, Trevor and Juan?
Well, it was hard to watch. Obviously, it was very shocking to watch it. We all watched it live. It was like immediately. It was like, especially with the CPR for the last night. It was like, oh no, this is not good. This is not good. It really was hard to watch, but I was really happy to see that at the end of the day, how much the football community as a whole came together, of all fan bases from all over the country, all over the world, especially our fan base is so united with stuff like this that at the end of the day, it's more than this football. And the fact that it showed, I hope, like I said, I know DeMar Hamlin sees how much love that the community in the country, the whole country has shown him for the last couple of days.
He said it.
He said, and it's really happy to see that he's up and well, alive, talking, at the end of the day, it was really happy to see. A lot of sleepless nights, especially every night, a lot of us was literally like, couldn't sleep because what we see, and then it's like trying to make sure, hey, is he okay? Any updates? Right. It was very, very nerve-wracking.
I had a tab on my phone open and checked it every hour since it happened to see if the man was going to be with us the next day. Thank the Lord.
We recorded an episode. Literally the morning after, and the first few seconds of it was like trying to not like get emotional because it's like what we seen because like it was scary. It was very scary.
Yeah.
And it showed. It was like this only thing we cared was is he okay? Like that's all we cared about is we hope he's okay.
Well, we did me and Mikey went. I was debating to do it or not, but we went live like right like at 10:45, something like that. And I was like, oh, should I do it? Like, should I? Because there really was no game to talk. It was going to be about what happened. And I'm like, I told Mikey, and Mikey's like, no, I don't feel like it. And then Mikey wound up popping on anyways. But no joke, guys, we had 12,000 people in the live stream, which is, I couldn't believe it when we got off. I'm like, oh my God. And I would say 90% was positive. There were some idiots, trolls, by the way, stupid people out there, like still. But other than that, man, it was like, bro, it was wild because there was people from like Patriots fans and Dolphins fans and Jets all in my chat. I couldn't even keep up, bro. It was wild, and it was a little bit of therapeutic, I guess, for people. So in a way, it was good that I went on. You know what I mean? And got to talk to people and of course the rumors are floating around. He passed away, and I'm like, no. Don't jump to conclusions. You know what I mean? Let's just see how this thing plays out. And sure enough, man, like prayer, power, just, and this guy right here, what you just said, Denny Kellington, that dude deserves all the praise that he's going to get, all the honors he's going to get. He was the guy that actually did the CPR on the field that got, DeMar back, his heart beating again. So that guy is going to get a lot of praise. The NFL is going to give him, I'm sure he's going to be SB something, but he deserves all that. And I'm sure DeMar Hamlin's going to give him a huge hug when he sees him, and I'm sure they've talked. Captain D. Oh, by the way, real quick, too, the last time I recall this, guys, that I recall, and I'm sure Captain D remembers this, back in 2007, Buffalo Bills, Kevin Everett played for the U, was going downfield in a special teams play and got paralyzed. That was the last, that was the first thought that, while that whole thing was playing on, because I remember the stadium was so quiet, bro. It took forever to get him off the field. You know what I mean? But the only difference was no player knows the stadium. They know it's bad, but he's alive and he's giving you thumbs up on the way, but this was a totally different situation. The dude was gone for a minute. You know what I mean? So but anyways, Captain D, what's your thoughts on that, man? I know you called me. Captain D called me, actually. He was like, hey, he was out to dinner. I'm like, bro, it's not,
it was
not good.
It was, I was out to dinner with some family, and when I kind of got wind of it, I reached out to Tommy because I was just like, what's really going on? You know what I mean? We were messaging back and forth, but, it's very unfortunate what happened. It's a very, obviously football is, it's a very violent sport. My son played football. So, it was tough to watch that. And, as the whole situation unfolded, and obviously none of us know DeMar Hamlin personally, but seeing how involved he was in the community and what he was doing, he seems like a really good person, and that's kind of tough to find nowadays. Good people. So I'm happy that it's everything's panning out, and he seems like he might have a future. You know what I mean? Of life. That's the most important thing. So that was great to see. It was tough to watch, but it's great to see everything, unfolding how it is right now.
Yeah, man, most definitely. And of course, though, back to football, because that game was a no contest, basically got ruled. It's good. It's a little bit of tricky situation going on in the playoff scenario. And as you guys know, if the Chiefs win today, which they will. And the Bills beat the Patriots, and the Bills wind up meeting the Chiefs in the championship game. It's going to be on a neutral field. So I think that, man, I think the NFL did as best they can. I think what happened is they probably will do something in the offseason in case, God forbid, this ever happens again, where it will be set in, it'll be on paper. It'll be written down where here's the rules if this ever happens. Because I think there was not enough time. You couldn't make that game up. It was impossible. Week 7, the playoffs right around the corner, just impossible to make that game up. I thought the Bengals kind of got screwed. I didn't like how they did the Bengals, a little dirty on that. But I thought the Bills part of it, I thought that was it was fair. I mean, I hate, it is what it is, man. And this has never happened as far as I remember. I know 9/11, they didn't have football that the first week, I believe it was. But other than that, it's never happened before. So let's move forward. Dolphins, Patriots. Dolphins lose 23-21. And Bridgewater goes out. Bridgewater throws a terrible interception for a touchdown. I'll start with Trevor and Juan on that game, man. So what's your thoughts on that game?
It was just, like I said, being sick and all, already being sick and already not liking how everything was going right now. The Patriots should not have won this. The Patriots could have easily lost this game. Easily lost this game. I think if 2-0 plays this game, we lose this game, honestly. But, Teddy did the best he could. And he not going to do, but it was Skylar Thompson. And then again, he took him down the field and just took him within two. But it was like, I didn't like, it just Matt Jones didn't play well at all. I don't Matt Jones played terrible in this game too. Like, it felt like he didn't do much with this. The defense was just did everything they could to just make it respectable, honestly. And then my issue with it is that you've seen Kendrick Bourne get a lot of touches, right? But what the fuck is Kendrick Bourne the whole year? Like, where is he the whole year? Like, doghouse, like he's by far the best receiver on the team, but you're not giving him any playing time. I don't understand.
Right. Yeah,
so
that's weird.
Just weird. So it's a lot. It's a lot. At the end of the day, we got the win. We gave the fan base false hope, in my opinion, because you're giving the fan base a chance that, hey, we could actually make the playoffs. When we, honestly speaking, like Captain D said about the Dolphins, we don't deserve to make the playoffs. We don't deserve to make the playoffs. For what? To go to the playoffs and get curse stomped by Buffalo or Cincinnati? And anyway, what's the point? It doesn't make any sense to me. And
Chewy's saying Juan's looking like when we had Captain check down Edwards, my most hated quarterback ever in Buffalo. Freaking hated that guy. And I had that same look that Juan has when Captain check down Edwards was our quarterback. I understand what Juan's going through, by the way. I do. Misery for like 18 seasons in Buffalo. Anyways, Juan, nothing. You got nothing for this game?
No.
Juan is
he's saving it.
He's saving it. All right. It's like it's boiling up. All right, Captain D, man. What is going on with the damn Dolphins? 5 in a row, man.
We literally messed each other the morning of the game, and I told you how I felt about the game, and you were like, nah,
I was shocked. Captain D said,
I told
we're gonna lose.
We're gonna lose. I told Tommy, I said we're gonna lose this game, and he was just like, "What do you?" And it unfolded just like what I expected. Teddy Bridgewater, just he did what Teddy Bridgewater does for me, and I was like, it unfolded what I thought. The Patriots were disciplined like they always are on defense. The offense. I have a whole nother conversation about Mac Jones. I didn't get involved with that conversation earlier.
Thought Teddy played, but I thought Teddy played well for the first, I would say, half or whatever, until he had that interception and hurt his finger. I thought he was doing well. No, I mean I thought he was.
He played decent.
I mean, he was driving.
I don't think Teddy is right for this offense of what is asked for. That's what I think.
That's fair enough.
Fair enough. It went like what I thought how it would transpire, and the Patriots on defense stood up and made a play, and that was essentially the deal breaker in the game. I think so. I wasn't surprised by the outcome, not at all.
Spin wants to know who's more injury prone, Tua or Teddy. Seems like Teddy only gets hurt when Tua gets hurt. So
who was that? Spin?
Yeah,
Taylor.
Spins.
Hey, yeah. I've always liked Ty. I don't care what anyone says. He's a he ain't a starter anyway. Yeah, he's a
I
good
like Tyrod
backup.
too,
I take him as a backup all day, baby.
I like Tyrod. I like Tyrod, but that's crazy.
Not now though. No. He's talking about injury prone. That dude can't even go to a doctor without.
He almost died.
That's
The
what I
Chargers
mean.
almost killed him.
Like he can't even right.
Real quick. Let me answer Chewy. Chewy, we got Mike Glennon.
I know that's awful. Mike Glennon. I didn't even know that dude was.
We got Mike Glennon.
I didn't even know he was
Glennon
still playing.
Is he a quarterback room?
Mhm.
We just elevated him from our practice squad. He is our
That's
backup
so
quarterback.
bad. I had no idea he was around still.
Yeah. So there you go.
He played for the Jags, right? He's a tall guy that played for the Jags.
He
And
was
played
on the
for
Giants
Bucs.
last year.
Yeah. He's like 6'7". Yeah.
He was on the Giants last year.
The tower, the Inferno Tower.
We got Mike Glennon. Watch out.
Oh no. So it's so
I want to see all that.
23.
Watch out.
21. Yeah, it's bad, man. Jets and Seahawks will run. We don't even have to talk really much about that. Seahawks won 23-6. Jets have a major problem at quarterback. I said that in the beginning of the season, and I'm saying it week 18. They have a problem. They have a problem at quarterback.
They do have a problem.
And they have a good defense. It's such a shame because if they even had a Ryan Tannehill quarterback, they might be a tad better. That might be a 9-win team.
Now, Tommy, I know everyone got into the facade of saying, "Oh my God, this Jet defense is great." But I'm here to tell you, in the last 3 games they played, this Jet defense is fucking overrated. Overrated as fuck. He's overrated as defense because they've been exposed. They got exposed the last 3 games. And especially against Seattle. Seattle, one of the worst defenses in the league in Seattle. And 23 points. 23 points. That's it.
Yeah, but what is it? Defense or offense you're talking
No.
about?
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Excuse me for that. My thing is this. The Jet defense allowed 23 points to Seattle, right? The Seattle, who don't really have that much. Last week, the week before against Detroit, or when they lost to Detroit, and that easy give it. That was one of the easiest touchdowns I've ever seen someone give up. I've ever seen someone give up to the 3rd string tight end to lose the game. Terrible.
Well, okay, so week 17 they gave up 23 to the Seahawks. I don't think the Seahawks offense is that bad. 23 is not unbelievable scoring. And then they played the Jaguars. They gave up 19. The Jaguars offense isn't that.
Trevor Lawrence.
If you look at the Jaguars, but if you look at their offense, it's been really streaky where they could score in the high 30s, right? And in some games they score 13 points.
Trevor Lawrence doing whatever he wanted in that game. Anything he wanted, he was doing.
19 points. It's not. I'm just saying, if they had a better offense,
I understand that, but he was moving the ball on that defense with ease. He did whatever he wanted. Now it's not his fault that there wasn't his fault that doesn't help when you can't get into the end zone. Field goals in the depth after that, but Trevor Lawrence did whatever he wanted. He did whatever he wanted in that game.
I don't know. I disagree there. I listen. Here's the deal. I don't think the Jets defense is great. So I don't know who said their defense is great, but I think they're young, upcoming, potentially great defense. They have a hell of a D line. They got really good young corners, but they're super young. Like they're all young dudes that haven't really put it all together yet, but they've shown that they can keep their offense in games if their offense had anything to offer. And listen, the Lions have a good offense, and they only allow 20-something. Like these are all winnable games. And if you go and look at Buffalo, right, we have a good top 5 defense, but we also give up games like that where it's like 20 points, 23. You would be like, oh my God, they're driving. Look at Tua, they're all over. But at the end of the day, we only give up 20-something points. Putting your offense, giving them a chance to do more and win the game. Like that's why the whole thing with going back to their sorry ass quarterback when he was asked, is the defense or his offense doing enough for your defense? And he said yes or whatever. Does he blame himself or whatever? Remember? And Zach was like, no, like Yeah, hell yeah, dude. Like, yes, it's on you. You need to score more than 3 points, 7 points, 10 points. Like, you need to give your defense an opportunity. Not to mention, you got to also take this in fact, Trevor. If your offense is that shitty, right? You're off the field like this. Your defense is constantly on the field, constantly on the field, constantly on the field, constantly on the field. That's not good. And the fact that they're still holding the teams to 20-something points, you got to give them a little credit, right? Because if there's a better offense or defense is not on the field as much or not getting tired as much, that's how I see the Jets. But either way, no quarterback, you ain't winning shit. I don't care who you are.
Now, when I say overrated, I'm talking about as far as they overrated them, as far as having them as, oh, this is a top 5 defense, this is a top 3 defense, and I'm like, it is not. Like they've gotten streaky. Yes, they had the opportunity to show out and show Quinn. Like I love Quinn. I love the Williams brother, Quincy and Quincy Williams on the D line. I think those guys are great. There's a great D line they have right there. The secondary is pretty solid. The linebacking core to me is it's kind of their weakness, but overall it's okay. But to say they're a top 5 defense, to me, especially toward the last 5 games of the season, I'm like they tried, but then there was some games like the game against Seattle where they didn't show up. They didn't show up against Seattle, against the Detroit in the last second half of the game. They didn't show up. So that's what I'm saying. I'm like, listen, they're young. They're young, but at the end of the day, like to say that they're a top 5, this is a Super Bowl champion defense. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
They're I don't know who's saying that. The guy that used to.
No. I'm talking about New York media. They put it here. Yeah. And people, I'm like, they're overrating them. They're good. They're good, but to say they're a championship defense is ridiculous.
Well, I know who's saying that. The guy that did a one that was here for one.
That's what I mean. But other than that,
10-win team, baby, playoffs. Not happening.
Oh, yeah,
yeah. Good luck with that. I mean, jeez, I don't know. Anyway, so
screw them.
Yeah, moving on. Juan, come on, man, give us something. You're gonna give us something at the end?
Yes.
Because today I
feel like it's boiling up. Like, and this is great. This is
I'm actually starting to sweat.
Yes,
this is gonna be like I guess hair is gonna catch, like that beanie's gonna catch on fire soon.
So a message for Scott. Scott, I am the end of the last episode of the AFC Shakedown for the season will be headlined by Juan's rant because I don't have anything. This is his segment.
Wow, this is a. I was gonna say because we're gonna close the show. I was about to say because I know Captain D always has rants, so we're gonna do. But man, Juan's gonna be the closer because I got I don't really have anything either. Mine was gonna be like Skip Bayless crap, but he's not even worth talking about. He's an idiot. Anyway, so let's move on to the awards. We'll get to the awards, man. We'll get to the Boo This Man award. I don't know where it is.
Boo this man!
All right, so I guess we'll start with Captain D. Who do you got? Boo this man.
Oh man. Boo this man. I'm gonna boo Byron Jones for not even. I don't know what's going on with Byron Jones, but it seems like he's somewhat healthy, but just doesn't feel like even playing at all. I don't get what's going on, Byron Jones. The defense has been dismal at best. I mean, you could have at least tried to come out and play. Sam Madison came out and was just like, well, he
doesn't want to be there.
He just doesn't want any part of this right now. So boo Byron Jones. I mean, the Dolphins gave you a great contract coming out from the Cowboys. Boo Byron Jones for at least trying to giving it a shot. You know what I mean? So boo Byron Jones.
It's a good question coming in from Chewy before we move on to Trevor and Juan. What team do you absolutely hate more than anyone else?
I don't
Captain D?
I don't hate him. I really don't.
I mean, there has to be something, or do you just, close to being that you don't like, I mean, I know mine. I know mine's pretty easy.
I don't really have a team that I think maybe back in the day, the Patriots, when they were whooping us all the whole time. But other than that, I don't really have a team that I really hate that much.
Trevor, Juan, you got a team that you just, it's not your cup of tea.
I mean, not only
pisses you off.
team, it's mostly the fan bases that made me want to see the team loses. Like there's some Cowboy fans that are so unbearable that I want to see them lose every single week. But I don't hate the Cowboys. I just think their fan base is just so a lot of their fan base is just just disgusting. I'm like this Homer made just don't know. That's what I'm afraid of. I'm afraid that my fan base is going to turn out like them in the next 10 years.
It already started.
Bragging about 6 Super Bowl rings which again we were happy to see. A lot of Cowboy fans haven't seen all 5 of them, but that's neither here nor there. I don't want to be where my fan base completely is in the past say, "Oh, remember we actually were good. Those 6 Super Bowl rings, yo man, number six." And I feel like we're already there. And I don't like it. So yeah, Cowboys fan base is what I can't stand.
Mine was the Dolphins forever because I live in South Florida, and you got to remember, when I grew up, it was early. I started watching in '89 and through the '90s. That was the rivalry. Like Patriots were awful. Like you guys weren't around there. You were a little bit out of your time range, but the Patriots were terrible, and the Dolphins and the Bills were just battling all the time. It was like epic battles, but we always came out on top. Either way, I hated the Dolphins because I lived there. I had to go to Dolphins games again, and it sucked. But I will say Minnesota, I think Minnesota has now taken that top spot for me. The rudest goddamn fans I've ever come across in my lifetime. Like talk about not being humble, like pieces of crap. They sorry.
Have no reason to be arrogant to begin with.
That's what I'm saying. Exactly. Bro, that's why bro, thank you, Juan. Thank you. Like they've accomplished
haven't done shit.
You have done nothing. You've done the same as us. 4 Super Bowls, and you got nothing. At least we went 4 straight. I mean, at least
you led in your Super Bowls. They have not led in any Super Bowl they were in.
Yeah, they're the ultimate form of purgatory. That's what they're purgatory. They're always mid. They never suck that much, but they never finish either. They're always mid. I named my purgatory joke after them. They are the purgatory franchise of the NFL. So I never do anything. So what the hell are you there to brag about?
I don't, bro. I was shocked, and it was like a week thing. I'm like, it wasn't like, bro. Like I said, it wasn't like I'm a troll guy and they're trolling me back.
You should troll them. Just tell them 1998, and they should shut up right there.
I know. Trust me,
Gary Anderson. Just tell them that.
I know. But yeah, man, that man.
For the fans who know what I'm talking about, 1998 was when the time they went 15-1, and their kicker who was perfect the entire year missed 2, not 1, 2.
Is that when they had Cunningham
and lost?
Was that the Cunningham?
Was it Cunningham? I think it was Cunningham. When
he had that, I think he was MVP of the year that season. I think, or he was runner up. Cunningham. Remember, he had like crazy stats that year.
Yeah, that was Randy Moss's rookie year.
Okay.
Just tell them that, and they should shut up instantaneously because they got nothing to say about that. They lost to the damn Falcons. Who the hell loses to the Falcons?
Right. Got cursed out by the Broncos.
Yeah, who John Elway beat the shit out of in Super Bowl. Exactly. They got nothing to say.
So yeah, so that is my most. I would say they took over. And by the way, too, most of Bills fans will say Patriots. I can't, man, because it wasn't like the Bills were doing anything.
That's how I feel about you now. I don't hate y'all. Y'all beat the shit out of us all the time. We suck, so what the hell does it matter to me? That's how I feel about you.
Like if you rule the division, if we were like I said earlier, the Dolphins and Bills were just like battling, and it's just so close throughout and it's got this playoff battle going. Fine, I get it. The rivalry's hot. But if you just suck ass for 15 seasons and one team's just killing, we had no right. Wow, we beat, even if we beat, let's say hypothetically, we beat the Patriots every season, but the Patriots still kicked everyone out. What is that? Oh, wow, we beat. What is it? Who cares? So, yeah, I never hated the Patriots like a lot of Bills fans. I had nothing. Same with Tom Brady. The Tom Brady thing, like, oh, F Brady. Like, why? Yeah, he did not. What? Because he beat our sorry ass team throughout those seasons. We sucked. Like everybody beat us.
They were Josh Allen to us.
Brady,
the same thing right now.
Blame those GMs that couldn't build a team.
Can't hate.
Yeah, JP Losman.
Hey, whoa! I can't.
Trent Edwards.
That makes me upset. I like
No.
JP Losman.
Music is
Terrible. Don't you
No,
dare
no.
talk about Losman.
No, I'm saying that. I'm thinking about the sorry GMs that put those teams together. Like,
Oh, I know. I
yeah.
know. Trust me, I was there. I remember. All right. So,
believe it or not, there's a guy that I met in the chats who's a Jeff Toole jersey. I said, why
oh
do you
my
have
God, that's old school. He had
have a
one
Jeff
season.
Toole jersey? He didn't play.
Wow.
You know,
Tool. Yeah, that's old school.
that's the only explanation I can think of.
Jeff Toole.
Yeah, that's old school, bro. We had a lot of guys. We had a ton of when I went back and looked. I mean, I remember, but just sometimes I forget how many we had and how many terrible ones. Billy Joe Holbert or whatever his name was. God, are you kidding me? It was so bad, bro. All right, let's get to the next one. All right, we got the styling and profiling.
Styling and profiling. Woo!
Oh my. All right, Captain D, do you have anyone in styling and profiling, or I mean, can anybody? Has to be somebody, right?
Do I have anybody that's styling and profiling? Not really, because that was a pretty dreadful game that I watched. So I
Nothing is a big Zippo.
There's not really anybody that really impressed me that game. I was just like, wow, okay. So no, I do not have any styling and profiling.
Trevor Juan, do you have a particular style? I mean, did anybody shine in that game?
I'm gonna say Kendrick Bourne. I guess.
Okay.
Like that's pretty much it.
He didn't do anything. It was a game before that.
Oh, my bad.
Cincinnati.
Oh, geez.
My bad.
We got nothing.
So no, nobody.
No.
So no.
Just put to say Kyle Duggar.
Oh yeah, Kyle Duggar. You know, I'm not gonna lie to you.
All right.
I was in and out. I'm like, I'm trying to watch.
You were sick, so I don't blame you.
Yeah, I'm trying to watch this game. I'm like, yo, like, part of me didn't even want to watch this because I'm like, oh, if we lose this game, I'm already sick as it is. I'm like, whatever. But yeah, Kyle Duggar's been great. The pick six that pretty much won the game. That's pretty much win this game.
Yeah, it did.
Exactly right.
All right, what's up with that one?
I said, what's up? What is up with that? Now, if you eat that school lunch, you better stay away from that rectangular pizza. You know why? Because it is nasty. Yeah.
To go with it too.
You know what? I do like the Mexican pizza at the school. Totally missed that, but the rectangular is terrible. They called it. What did they call it, Captain D? They called it not tostada. They called it like fiestada pizza. It was like a octagon looking. You guys never had that in New York? The octagon looking pizza. You know what I'm talking about, right, Captain D?
I was more of like
I know what you're talking about. Yes,
it was so good, bro.
A circle pizza. The circle pizza with the pepperoni was good. That was good.
Well, it was kind of circle. It was like but it was shaped like an octa. It's called a fiestada pizza, bro. Oh, bro, and you guys missed out, bro. Oh, you guys missed out, bro. You guys missed out. All right, so Captain D, what's up with that, man? What you got, man?
What's up with the Dolphins falling flat on their fucking face? We were on the verge of battling the Bills for the top seed of the AFC East to just completely fighting for a playoff spot with other things going on that got to happen for us to make it. What is up with this whole team? What happened? We looked so... everything was just gelling so much. It was like an oiled machine working.
Machine.
It almost seemed like looking back at Dan Marino, seeing this offense work. I was just like, wow. It was like it was magical. I was just like,
oh my god! Like Dan Marino.
Take him out. Tommy, take him out.
What was that?
What the fuck?
What was
take
that?
him out.
What was that?
Crazy.
To use God's name in vain, the Dolphins' God's name in vain.
It had to be. It had to be. I had to.
You should have said like Chad Pennington or something.
No. It's much. But yeah. So what's up with that? I don't know what's really going on with the team. Obviously, there's
he wasn't that bad.
A lack of adjustment here for the team. So what's up with that? It's unfortunate to see because it seems like the Dolphins were on the bark of something new and it was different. So obviously. it's not panning out that we, what we wanted. There's been some injuries, but that's not an excuse. There's no excuses. There's no excuses. Next man up. You got to step up. But we've been lacking adjustments, I should say.
Chewy wants to know pineapple on pizza. Yes or no, Captain D? I'll start with you.
Pineapple on pizza? Sure, why not? Yeah.
All right, Trevor and Juan, you're kings of New York. Or my favorite kind of pizza over there, New York style. You guys put pineapple on there?
I don't mind it. It's not first choice, but I don't mind it. If it was there, I'm like, it's not.
If it's laying around, last
slice.
If you're walking home, it's cold. $1
it's
slice.
Not first choice. No,
All right.
my first choice, but nah.
Juan, you picking up that pineapple slice?
I never cared. If it's there, I'll eat it, but I won't choose it.
Okay, so all these we got it.
I guess it's close to a yes. I guess I don't care.
Okay. I like it as long as there's ham on it. I'm good with it. I pretty much take almost every topping on my pizza except for I don't like that nasty. What do they call that? That fish crap that they put on
anchovies.
Yeah, ooh, I don't know who the hell eats that on their pizza. Nasty ass people. But I'm a pepperoni guy all day, man. Anchovy, no good.
Shit.
All right, let's see. It says McDaniel's over his head. Flores is better, but true issue is GM and owner. What do you think about that comment? Captain D?
I don't think that's an accurate comment. I think the way how McDaniel's started the season, I don't think he's over his head. I think that there's some adjustments that need to be made, obviously, at the defensive coordinator. I believe they're trying to get initially before the season, Vic Fangio, or I might be pronouncing his last name wrong, but they were trying to make the right decisions. And hey, I mean, our draft picks have, for the most part, been panning out. You know what I mean? Jalen Waddle, Jalen Phillips. Other than the linebacker that we chose this year in the third round, we haven't seen much of him, but. I don't think he's over his head. I think that we need to adjust, and obviously the big question is quarterback, what they're going to do with that going into next season.
I'm still going to throw a name out there for the Patriots. Even I would hate to see it happen, but I think it would be such a smart move for you guys to do it. It's Frank Reich as OC. I mean, he's not going to get a head coaching job, I don't think. And I think it would be such a mistake for a team not to pick him up as an OC. And why not? Why not New England, man? Like I'm just saying, out there.
That requires Belichick to be smart.
Yeah, you're right. I just feel like it would be such a. I would hate it because
this is a huge waste of time talking about this.
I'm sorry. You're right.
Jake Fromm.
You're right. Jake Fromm. Who's mentioning Jake Fromm? By the way, I hated that draft pick. I hated it. Jake, what a waste of a draft pick. He was bad in college.
He was terrible.
Okay, and he's been a joke since.
I'm guessing this is sarcasm or a joke.
Yeah.
Jake
Fromm is not going to be part of that.
Jake Fromm, the new Dolphins quarterback. All right, so let's get to Week 18. What do you guys want to start with? Jets and Dolphins, or Patriots and Bills? What do you want to leave for the last guys?
Let's start with the Patriots and Bills.
Yeah, this should not take very long. Hurry up.
All right.
Yes,
so let's start with let's do Trevor and Juan. Trevor, Juan, Patriots at Bills. What's your thoughts?
It's going to be a very emotional game for the crowd. Everybody there in Orchard Park is going to be, riled up. Not only because the playoff around the corner, but for the fact that DeMar Hamlin is alive and well. So the crowd's going to be all into it. The team is going to feel rejuvenated. They're going to win this for him and try to go all the way and do it for number 3, DeMar Hamlin. So I have the Bills beating the ever-loving shit like it was January of last year. January of 2022.
That was bad.
Yeah, it's going to be bad. The Bills should win this game with ease, and because obviously the Bills are going to play for the 2 seed because they can't get the number 1 because what's going on right now.
Bills Kansas City's up 31-6.
Yes,
as we speak.
Yeah.
Oh, good Lord, is it 31-6? I haven't looked over.
So
it might be more. I'm not sure.
Yeah. So they're playing for the 2 seed.
No, it's 31-13.
Oh, there's still hope.
No, it's 6 minutes left.
No, game's over. Game's over. But yeah, the Bills will win this game with ease. I don't even know. I don't even know if it's appropriate to give a score because
That's the score.
You know what? Yeah, I'm going with
So
Scott
Scott's
Baker.
right. 99-0.
99-0.
That would be unbelievable. That happened. I don't know that. I don't think so. So Juan, anything? Or are you still saving it for the last? Okay, Captain D. How do you see this game going?
I see this game going Bills. Bills all the way. Bills all the way. They're going to be. I think that it's going to be not as bad as what predictions have been because I think the defense is always going to keep the Patriots defense is always going to keep everybody respectful and it's going to be maybe close towards halftime and then I see the Bills pulling away, but not enough firepower like I've always been saying all year for the Patriots, and the Bills will go to victory.
What's your score prediction? Throw
I'm gonna give out I'll give it a 27-10 Bills.
All right. Man, I think I'm going with Trevor here on this ass whooping. Listen, man, I would maybe say that score prediction that you said, Captain D, if there wasn't really that good of news going on with DeMar. Like if we were just practicing, but it was. You know how that is, man. Mine's somewhere else. You're just going out there to play, but you're not. Like I said, you're distracted. I think the way that this whole situation is played out with DeMar has put some juice in this team, man. Again, I think this team wants to come out. They want to win for DeMar, win for 3. That's the whole thing that's going on now. And I think they're going to play their asses off. I do, and I think the Patriots. I still respect the Patriots defense. I do, but it's going to be a home game. Crowd's going to be in it, man. I could see some turnovers too by the Patriots there, just because of the crowd getting so much into it. Just the Bills defense also. Gotta remember, Bills defense, man. They're going to probably be playing their asses off too. I see this as an ass whipping. I see it 37-20. I see it's 37-20, something like that. So 37-23 possibly. I give you 20 points because we always wind up giving a touchdown early, and then we always wind up giving some bullshit touchdown at the end. So you'll have some field goals here and there, you know what I mean, throughout the game. So I'll have you an early touchdown and a late touchdown and some field goals in between. That's where I got. So 21 points, maybe somewhere around there. 23.
You being very sweet.
I am being nice. I am, because it could not be. It could be 10. It could be 10. I mean, it could be 7. It could be 9. I don't know, but either way, I don't think the score is going to be close. I don't. I think it's going to be a easily 14 to 17 point blowout for Buffalo, and that'll send New England home.
Yes,
and then you got
out of the playoffs,
appropriate.
Out of the playoffs, as we belong.
I believe that's what will happen, and then you're gonna, and that's, I think you guys need, like you guys were kind of saying earlier, I think that it's the best thing for you guys.
Yes,
it is because I think the fan base, I think the media will get on top of the Patriots, and maybe you get lucky, the owner does something about it. Maybe I still say no, and I think a lot of the chat thinks the same way. I think Bill is the leader somehow, some way. He has that hold over Kraft, but we'll see. We could be wrong. You never know what's going to happen with football. But let's move on to the Jets and Dolphins. This is a interesting matchup. Dolphins win, they're in. Captain D, we'll start with you, man. Dolphins win, they're in. What are you going to do, man? No Tua, Mike Glennon backup. What's happening here, man? You guys win?
Yeah, we got Skylar Thompson in. He's been prepping all week for this game, and this game is going to be a very close game. Why? Because of the Jets defense. The Jets defense is legit. The Jets defense is legit. They are as bad as they are because their offense is trash. So they are legitimate defense. I'm not saying top 5, maybe on the outside of a top 10, but they're legit. So this is going to be a very, very tough game for the Dolphins. Like I said earlier, Thompson seems like he has all the physical traits, but processing the plays and what's really going on, you can tell he struggles. He's a 7th round pick. You know, he's a rookie, so it's going to take some time to try and develop him. But I think ultimately, I'm gonna say the Jets pull this off, and we all go to our demise and not make the playoffs.
And Spin, you are correct. That is correct in all capital letters. So just in case I couldn't read it in regular lowercase, but that is correct, Spin. Even if they lose, they still have an opportunity, but they have to have some stuff happen in their favor.
And I'm glad he said that. I'm glad he said that because it goes into my theory.
Yeah. So I mean, we'll
game.
see. We'll see. It's been a while. I'll be honest. It's crazy. AFC, NFC really been wild this year. Football's been crazy this year. Anyways, Trevor Wong, how you see this game going, man?
I see this game as this is a must-win game for not because obviously not going to get the playoffs, but this not nothing to do with the Dolphins because they're not winning this game. They're not winning this game. To me, it is more of a statement game for Robert Saleh, the coach for the Jets, because the reason why, not only because the quarterback situation is the reason why they're not in the playoffs, they've lost 5 games in a row, but the personnel decisions of Robert Saleh and the play calling decisions that he's made, especially down the stretch in these last 5 games that they lost. All of those games were winnable games. All 5 of those games they lost were winnable games. So this is going to be a situation where whether their fan base they can trust them or not moving forward, because because this didn't talk. People talking about, hey, if they fired Saleh for this, I don't hate the decision. I think I wouldn't do it, but I can understand why they would even consider it because of how bad everything's going and the way that things are shaped and how he's handled certain situations. If you're gonna fire the OC, go ahead. He's been terrible. He's been awful. But I think that this game is more of what what Joe Douglas has right there. Do they have the right guy as the coach moving forward? So I think that they want this game and to beat the Dolphins. But I think this is more of a evaluation for the Jets. So I'm picking the Jets to win this game because Joe Flacco, I'm not gonna lie, Joe Flacco should have played in a lot of these games down the stretch, because I think they could have won a lot of these games with Joe Flacco down the stretch. And Skylar Thompson, what the fuck is that? You know, let's be honest, that's not going to do anything. So I'm going with the Jets to win this game. The Dolphins miss the playoffs, and the Pittsburgh Steelers take the 7th seed in the AFC. Who would have thought? The Pittsburgh Steelers. Right?
What's your score prediction, real quick? And then I'm gonna, because I don't think Captain D gave one.
21-16, New York Jets.
That's a pretty good score.
That is a good score. Captain D, what do you got? Because I don't think I asked.
I'm gonna say 13-10. Jets win on a late field goal.
Super low score. Okay, Juan. What do you got?
Nothing. You can go.
No score prediction?
Nope. Go ahead.
He's saving everything for the end.
Holy shit. Okay.
It's going to be
epic. Okay. I like that. I'll give my score prediction here. Jets, Dolphins. I don't know if it's going to be that low, bro. Dolphins still have, I mean, I know they got Skylar Thompson and they're terrible backup, whatever. They still got weapons. The yard after catch for Hill and Waddle is where it's at, man. It wasn't like, listen, man, you could throw a 10-yard pass to Waddle, you could take us to the house, man. So I don't know if it's going to be all about the quarterback here. Like, I think the Dolphins still can have an opportunity to put up points against the Jets. So I'll have the Jets winning, though. But I don't think it's going to be super low score. I'll say in Miami, too. 24-23 Jets. I think they wind up like winning on some bullshit, like not bullshit, late field goal or some shit, some bullshit. You know what it is too with the Dolphins though. I will say this, you know what it will come down to, and Captain D will be so pissed, and the Dolphins have been doing it all season. It'll be like the Jets will have the ball with like 7 minutes to go, and they will just chew the whole 7 minutes.
Yep.
They kick a
The
field goal
whole
and win the game.
every second of it, and
every single second.
it's
been like that
been
though.
that year, yeah.
When you played us, we got the ball at I think our 4 or something, and we just 8 minutes. We're like, all right, here we go. No answer. You guys did it. Yeah, the 49ers did it to you.
The worst feeling.
That's definitely.
Oh, dude, when you can't do nothing, and the time is just going. You're like, oh man, we have plenty of time to get the ball back. You look up, it's like 2 minutes. What? Yeah, man. But I have a feel the game's going to be played out like that. And Joe Flacco isn't the worst. He's better than what you guys have right now at quarterback. And I hate to say that because yikes. But yeah, that's where I'm at. All right. This is the ending, guys. By the way, guys, I want to thank every one of you guys once again. Trevor won. It's been an epic season once again. We had a good time, man. No. I tried to get the Jets guy. I did, guys. I did. Chat, I'm sorry. I tried. They don't want to be here.
We don't need him.
Yeah, we don't need him. We don't need him. We don't want him. Fine. Show goes on. Question mark guy will just remain. That's what they are, anyways. They're always a question mark.
Hey, real quick, I want to answer that question real quick. I got the Lions.
Surprised?
I got the Lions.
I'll tell you what. If they make the playoffs, I'll agree with that. But I'm gonna go with. I like somebody else said the Jags, and I'm gonna say the same thing.
I was gonna say that. Yeah.
If they make the playoffs, though. If they don't, then I'm gonna go Giants. I think Spin is right on that one, and I'm also gonna throw another team out there. Even though they had good people on their roster, I didn't think they'd be as really good team like they are, and that's Philly.
Yeah,
Philly really surprised me how well they play. I didn't Jalen Hurts, man, night and day from the year before. I mean, it tells you how much a playmaker like AJ Brown makes your quarterback look so much better. I mean, my God, that's wild how good of a season Jalen Hurts had since getting one guy added, and it's everything's changed. So that I would say the Giants and the Eagles, I guess, would be my, and I'll throw the Lions and Jags in there if they make the playoffs. If not, they're still non-playoffs. I mean, so I can't really. The question
was good or bad. Nobody.
I didn't see that either.
No one in God's green earth thought that the Denver Broncos would be this bad. No one.
Yes.
Or the Rams.
Yes.
Or the Rams.
The West. Yeah, the West really, except for the Chiefs and the Chargers, I guess, getting there. Chargers barely. But you're right. Terrible. You're right. Denver Raiders. I mean, my God, what happened there? You're right. You are right. All right, so let's get to it. Let's get to the epic rants, the everyone's favorite. It's going to be Juan and Captain D, and we're going to start with Captain D first. So let me get to the rant. What am I going to play for the rant here? What am I going to play? All right, let's see here. I guess I'll go with.
It is more about them than it is about the team. I cannot play with them. Cannot win with them. Cannot coach with them. Can't do it. I want winners.
Man, is that how you're feeling right about now, Captain D?
No, not actually, no, not at all. But
okay.
my epic rant is Kayvon Thibodeau. Come on, man! Really, you saw what transpired next to you after you made that play.
I forgot.
And you had just no remorse for what you did.
That was bad.
I know you know Nick Foles. I know you know Jeff Saturday, but come on,
apparently not. If you saw his little interview in the locker room,
it
was a douchebag. That would be my rant if it wasn't for what
Come on,
my franchise exists.
I mean, you got to show some type of compassion.
I'm Dable. I'm slapping the shit out of him in the locker room after.
I gotta ask though. I gotta ask, real quick, Captain D, where the hell was this guy's offensive line? They should have been picking this dude up and throwing that dude. I'm just saying, if Josh Allen's laying on the ground, Deion Dawkins, Saffold, trust me, one of those dudes are taking that dude and throwing that dude like a frisbee, and there's going to be melee. They just let that dude sit there for like the whole time, Captain D. I don't get it. Go ahead, Captain D.
No, yeah, I absolutely agree with that. It was just disheartening to see, you know what I mean, what he expressed in the locker room after, and he really and truly couldn't give two shits.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
no.
and it was
Yeah,
that was
didn't-
just
no, he
disappointing to
didn't.
see.
All right.
And you know, it was just disappointing. It was just disappointing. That's my epic rant. Come on, Kamo, you can be a better person than that.
All right, here we go. What we've been waiting on, Mr. Juan. Juan, the floor is yours.
Not yet. You're gonna get teased. Captain D, you didn't get to comment on any of the stuff that was going on during Trevor and Tommy's talk about like Mac Jones and the team and all that. Please take the floor before I start.
Oh yeah. I mean, Mac Jones, you got to get him some help. There is no help. If you look at the Jets and the Patriots together, they're solid defenses, but no, both similar to questionable issues. The Jets, no quarterback. The Pats, questionable quarterback play, but no help on the outside as far as wide receivers. No help whatsoever. So I think both teams have a good core, but quarterback play has got to be better, and you got to find those quarterbacks help, whether it be Zach Wilson or Mike White, whoever it might be. But I think Mac Jones, you can't just cut the ties loose so quick on Mac Jones because there's no real body of work there because there is no body. So you gotta get some players that can help him, and then you see what can transpire. But great coaching on the Patriots aspect, and I think on the Jets too. It's just at key points, which is offense. And isn't it weird how it always happens that way? I remember the Dolphins for a while were so heavy on great offense, but the defense was so lackluster. It needs to be a balance there. You know what I mean? So, and the Patriots are good. And, you know, unfortunately for the Patriots, they don't have Tom Brady, the only person that can turn shit to gold. Let's just be honest here. You know what I mean? Tom Brady is the GOAT. And when it was there, you could put different pieces in and it's going to constantly work because he is the GOAT. Tom Brady is the GOAT.
But they also had Gronkowski, who's a Hall of Fame tight end.
Help. That's what I was saying. There was help.
I'm saying right, and they also had some, like you said, they had. I didn't think they had the best receivers in New England when I watched them. Wes Welker, like they were good, but anywhere else they were average. I didn't think those guys were Hall of Fame. Now Gronkowski, different story, Hall of Fame tight end, but none of the receivers ever were these unbelievable. Oh my God. Like Randy Moss, that's it. And you saw he was there one season. That was a wrap. So can't even count Randy Moss. I don't know. Tom Brady.
Well, that was my point is that other than if you don't have Tom Brady, you got to get some impactful players on.
I understand what you're saying with there. I do. But my point is where I see Mac Jones and I guess I asked that earlier was I see him as an average as far as everything, his arm, his accuracy, like just his mobility, and I think his mobility is below average, right? So, but like there's nothing there, at least for me, and I could be wrong. I'm not this diehard Patriot fan, obviously I'm a Patriot, but I don't see anything that springs off the board that says, man, he's really, really good at this. You know what I mean? Like, and you could say that about some quarterbacks that aren't playing too well. Like, man, he's really good at like Tua. Right, everyone's like Tua is really good at accuracy, but he lacks this, right? Or I don't know if you could say that about Mac Jones. Like, say, man, he is really good at that. Like, I just think he's just he's a system quarterback, and I think if you have a good coordinator, he can work with Mac Jones. But do you want to just continue to just work with somebody and it's just good enough? Like, that's not like to me. It's not. You have to find a legit quarterback in this league, Captain D. It's you just have to. I think you cannot win without a solid, very good quarterback. Or it makes it really, really tough. You can't just play that average game because look at Tannehill. I'll give a perfect example for Miami. I never hated Tannehill. I thought Tannehill was good for you guys, but I didn't think he was that next level quarterback, right? Like he was right there. And same with Tennessee. He went there. He was an upgrade of what they had in Mariota, but how much of an upgrade? Top middle of the pack quarterback, right? And now look, right? They're still in the same Titans, right? They're not doing anything. They're just barely squeaking in the playoff. They'll never go anywhere. You have to get a quarterback, right? They got a stud running back, right? They had A.J. Brown when they had last year, when they had Tannehill. You had a good offense, but you had that quarterback who's just average.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I think you got to go to the next level. So
yeah,
that's my point.
Right there
they surrounded.
Yeah, when they had AJ Brown and Tannehill was
Right.
playing well, the defense was playing well, and I think that showed. I mean, Tannehill was almost right there. That's as far. I mean, he got much farther than with the Dolphins. You know what I mean?
But is that what you want though? Just to get to the play? You know what I mean?
No, but I mean,
you can't.
You're right. You're so close, and as you guys know, the Bills, a lot of teams, they're right there, and it's just not enough. But at least Tannehill came a lot closer than he did with the Dolphins, and that was with help. Derrick Henry, a great running back. I've been preaching for the Dolphins to get a 3-down back all year long. You know, I want to backtrack real quick to the Bills game, and it was funny because one of my favorite guys that writes a column for the Sun Sentinel, Dave Hyde, he was like, when there comes a time when the pretty shit it's just not going to work. We got to be able to run the football, be tough nose, and it's tough. But I feel like Tannehill had that help. He had Derrick Henry, he had AJ Brown. The defense played tough. Vrabel kind of has that tough team, so it helped. You know what I mean? But the Dolphins that's a whole nother
right. But that's my point. It helped. And he was an average quarterback, right? He's in the middle of the pack. No one's going to say, but even with all that talent, even if let's say hypothetically AJ Brown doesn't leave, he's still there. How much better they are? They're probably the same as they were last.
I guess what I mean. Like I think that the Patriots are a little bit more ahead of the Jets as far as their defense is that good. If they get some help on offense, they have. If they add on another playmaker on defense, it'll be even more devastating that they can make some serious impact.
But my point is though too, Captain D, how long do you go on because you got to remember you're building a team around the quarterback. It's not the opposite. You're not building a team around the running back. You know what I mean? Your quarterback is your main staple. That's what the GM, right? He has to build the proper team around him. You got to get the right guys that fit that his system. Is that Mac Jones? Like you know what I mean? Like you're gonna build a team around Mac Jones. I don't think so. I think you got to get a guy in place that's your guy. You know that this guy has this kind of talent. It may take a year or two to develop, but why would you keep holding on to hope for Mac Jones where you see where he's at, in my opinion? You know where he's at. This is who he is.
I don't think so. I think
I do. More... So you think he has a higher ceiling? I don't. I think he's reached the ceiling.
I don't know. I think that he needs to be given some tools to see. I think the Patriots need to evolve. We know the defense is there, but offensively, they need to try and evolve a little bit. I just don't see enough speed on the offensive side, except for I think there's a corner that plays. Sometimes he comes in as running back. I think he's either a rookie, he's a younger, but he looks spectacular. But he made some plays on offense too. I think he was hurt, but they need to try and evolve a little bit on the offensive side to see what Mac Jones can even.
I think it's a waste of a season continuing on with Mac Jones, in my opinion. If you really are serious about building a team, listen. I'm not once again, I'm not a Patriots fan, but they got 2 decent running backs. I take that back. They got one really dynamic running back in Stevenson. In my opinion, he's a dog. He made some stupid mistakes this year, no doubt, but he's a really good running back. They got a good defense. We already know that. They got young talent at corners. And there are a couple things that are messing up. Offensive coordinator, clearly, and their quarterback, in my opinion. You get rid of those 2. You bring in somebody that knows what the hell they're doing and a quarterback that knows what he's doing, either free agency or rookie, and you're going to see a way different team. I'm telling you, Captain, you cannot – how many times – listen, as a Dolphin fan, Bills fan, how many years we go by with hope that this is the guy, he's EJ Manuel, and we held on hope, right? As the seasons go, right? No, we played – and we go out and we get this guy, go Sammy Watkins, right? We're going to be better next. And it's the same crap, right? We did this 17 seasons. How many quarterbacks the Dolphins run through And be honest, that you were like, I like this guy. I think this guy like
Many times. Many
right?
times.
So like
Many
you have
times.
to eventually just be
Yeah.
honest. And I think the NFL now, at least some GMs are wisening up to that and going, hey, we drafted him. He's not good. It's time to move on. And I think it's just the Jets are doing. A couple teams. I think the Raiders finally got the clue with Derek Carr. Like eventually you have to just wake up and go, not the guy, no big deal. We made a mistake. We ain't perfect. Let's go back and draft another quarterback. See if, I mean, you have to. You can't just stick with one guy and go, well, we drafted him.
I get it. I just remember looking at the offseason. And I was just like looking at the ticker, and I was like, Patriots signed Devontae Parker, and I was like, all right. I mean, he's going to need more. Devontae, I love you. You know what I mean? But you're always hurt, and you're not that piece that the Patriots need.
No,
you know
that's
I mean?
not. Yeah, but you know, like me, at least watching the Patriots, you know, the Patriots, one, they're not like this big free agency. They're not going out and getting these dynamic pieces. They build in the draft. That's what they do, and they don't build well in the draft. Let's be real. Their defense is good because they have an excellent coach in defense. That's what he can make an average guy and turn him into a pretty damn good player. That's what they always been. Offensively is where the Patriots have always kind of flat, but they had a GOAT quarterback. But now when that GOAT quarterback left and they try to replace him with a not a GOAT quarterback, a quarterback who is just not fits in today's system. Very slow kind of quarterback, very basic quarterback. There's nothing that sticks out with that quarterback. I'm telling you, man.
Get you some help. Get Mac Jones some help.
But I'm telling you, man. And listen, too. I gotta say, too, if they do bring in a new OC, you want to get a quarterback that fits that system, right? Unless you're just going to keep playing that same old football, running, ground pound. And I don't think that's
think
stable.
About it.
I don't think you can keep that going.
What they had on the offensive side.
I'm starving.
Maybe
rambling.
All right, we're going.
All right.
Sorry, about Patriots talk.
Okay,
Juan, it is your floor.
Yeah,
go ahead.
Yeah,
your chat was been yelling at you for the past 7 minutes.
I am so sorry, Chad. Me and Captain D were in it, and it's a good
all right. Ready.
But the reason why I asked, I wanted to see what Captain Dean was going to say before I continue, because I suspected something, but thankfully I was wrong, so I don't have to say anything. So we're going to rewind to week 2 of this show when we had a fourth person one day, right? And we had this discussion, I think you remember this, Dolphin, when we talked about Bill Belichick and wondering when I made the proposition that maybe it may be time or not time to move on because maybe something has passed him by. That was in September. It is January, and this team has never looked worse, probably since 2000. I don't think I'm wrong, was I? I don't think I was wrong. I think I was right. Yeah, it may be time. Well, I have some scientific data for you, since, we don't do that scientific data bullshit in this show and in Sports Dynasty either. But I have lots of scientific data. Ready? For this season, right? The Patriots offense, this is offense only, is 26 out of 32 in third down percentage. The only teams behind them are the Cardinals, Jets, Colts, Texans, Panthers, and Broncos, all of which are dog shit, should not be in the league caliber teams outside the Jets. I would think we will agree on that. The Patriots are 26 overall in yards gained, 21st in yards per play, 28th in first downs gained, 26th in time of possession. They are dead last in the red zone. They are 7th in penalties, 9th in penalty yards. They are 5th in turnover differential because in the second half of the season, Mac Jones was not allowed to throw the ball down the field anymore, and the defense started getting a fuck ton of turnovers and had to score by themselves. And I will give you another funny number for the defense later. This is for the offensive line, and this is for the so-called running game that this team was supposed to have, but apparently went out the shitter. They are 23rd in rushing yards. They are 23rd in yards per attempt. They are 25th in rush touchdowns. This offensive line has allowed our 11th in tackles for loss allowed. They are 14th in sacks allowed. They are 27th in quarterback hits because we only throw the ball behind the line of scrimmage, all the fucking time because this offensive coordinator is a literal retard. Okay, now this team is 17th in points per game, 21.3. However, remember what I said? I have a funny defensive stat for you about 45 seconds ago. This team actually has 8 touchdowns that was not scored by the offense. 8 of them. Okay, so this offense has 28 total touchdowns as of this point, which is fucking anemic. That's not last, by the way. That's how bad the offenses has been this season. Keep this season in your head, by the way. 28 touchdowns in 16 game sample size. 28 touchdowns. That will lower the freaking point total to 17.8 points per game that the offense have scored, which surprisingly is not last because the Denver Broncos and company exist. That will be ranked 27th in the entire league. Now, passing, 21st in passing yards, 25th in pass touchdowns. This team has kicked the 5th most field goals in the league thus far. That'll probably go down because I don't even see how they're going to kick any field goals tomorrow anyway, but we'll see. But they are 5th most kicks this season. Now, to give the defense more sympathy, because God bless those men, this team, when it comes to punting, they are last in punt average, yards that they get that punts. They are last. They have punted 7th most in the league. They have allowed the most touchbacks in punts, so the damn punter can't even fucking aim out of bounds to pin them. But they are 20th in pinning the opposing offense inside the 20. Not 32nd, they're 20th. So it's not as bad as I thought it was, but that's still below average. Okay? And the one that is more important, and they got the punt blocked once. That was the Raiders game. And they are dead last in average net punt yards, which means that after they punt the ball, you subtract the return yards that are achieved by the other team. So they are dead last. So they can't even fucking cover punts either. Probably because of the punter, but they can't punt. So in other words, the defense, when they get on the field, they are basically on a bind because the opposing offense has good field position already. So that's how decent this defense is, that they have to deal with this bullshit all season long, and they have one more game to deal with it. Maybe 2, depending on the league. Okay? Now, for perspective, I have comparisons for the last few seasons. I have 2021, last year, just 1 year ago, Mac Jones. I have 2019 was the final Brady year that was considered a massive down year on offense because there was literally no receivers in this team. 2018, which was the last Super Bowl year, but if you really remember the regular season correctly, that they were kind of on the downcline, but they went on the run to win the Super Bowl and whatever in 2018. That was the final Super Bowl. And 2013, which was the year that Hernandez got arrested, Gronkowski got hurt, Wes Welker went to Denver. They lost their entire fucking offensive personnel. So they had no receivers. They had to draft Aaron Dropson, if you remember that son of a bitch. That's correctly.
Garbage.
Yes. There was no receivers in this team. That was the first time Edelman actually looked like a real wide receiver. And he wasn't 1,000. He was 900. He was close to 1,000 yards receiver. So that was the first time Brady hadn't shit since 2006. So let's start with last year specifically. The team actually scored 48 offensive touchdowns last year, 20 more than this year. Okay, they were 24th in penalties, meaning they had what will be the 8th least penalties, like something like that. 24th in penalties. Okay,
They were 11th in the red zone last year, 12th in time of possession last year, 10th in third down percentage last year. They were 14th in tackle for loss also. So is it around the same, right? Yes, exactly the same. They were 30th in sacks allowed. So they had allowed the third least sacks last year. Okay. Now for rushing, they were 8th in rushing yards last year, 12th in yards per attempt, and 2nd in rushing touchdowns. That is 1 year ago. 1 year. Those are the numbers.
Nope.
Astronomically better than what has been
No.
in 1 year later. Not even fucking close. Not even close. 26 points per game last year in 2021. 26 instead of fucking 17 with the 8 touchdowns taken away. Almost 10 more points.
I just want to say this real quick.
Nope, not yet. Hold it. 2019 was the year, Tom Brady's final year, when there was no wide receivers at all and there were offensive line injuries. They were 7th in points per game, 28th in sacks allowed, 17th in third down, 26th in the red zone, which is bad, but I explained to you why it was bad. That was the year where Mohamed Sanu got traded because Belichick didn't know what the fuck to do with the receiving core. If y'all remember that shit. Like he was supposed to make a fucking difference. There you go. That was the year. 27th in penalties. 3rd in time of possession. 42 offensive touchdowns. Mind you, they actually scored 49 in total, but 7 touchdowns were scored by the defense as special team because the Patriots had the number 1 defense that year. That was the Stephon Dimmer Defensive Player of the Year. 2018, 4th in points per game, 13th in third down, 15th in the red zone, 29th in penalties, 13th in time of possessions, 30th in sacks allowed, last in allowing any tackles for a loss. They didn't allow any, basically. They were last. And 30th in sacks allowed. I didn't say that already. I probably wrote that twice. My bad. I believe they averaged like 25, 26 points per game too at that point in time. 2013, which is probably the offense that is most compared to this one. But they were 3rd in points per game still. They were 16th in third down, 15th in the red zone, 31st in penalties. Mind you, we had Aqib Talib who holds his ass off in every fucking snap. Still 31st in penalties. 20th in time of possession. Again, there was no red running game in that year. That was the year that what the fuck his name? Stephen Ridley was fumble king. I wanted to fumble every fucking play and didn't play anymore. That's why they're 20th. They didn't have a run game that year. 28th in tackles for loss allowed, and they're 21st in sacks allowed. Brady had to hold the ball for 1,000 years. Those are the offensives that are compared to this one, and those numbers don't even fucking compare to the numbers that are here right now with this disgusting fucking excuse of an offense. The fact that we have literal overgrown 400-pound retard as an offensive coordinator alone should get this old motherfucker fired. But the fact that since he got all those motherfucking Super Bowls, right, with the greatest player of all time, he gets a pass. But hold up. Because if I'm not mistaken, Brady didn't leave last year. He didn't leave the year before that either. Okay? But Brady left a while ago. This is year 4, actually, of year 3, I'm sorry. Year 3 of not having Tom Brady. Year 4 of not supporting Tom Brady, period. But again, Mohamed Sanu was the best receiver in the team in 2019. If that's your best receiver, then you did not support Tom Brady. That was the first year Gronkowski that he retired in 2019. So this is year 3, my bad, of not having Tom Brady. And what the fuck has this old man done? The answer is nothing, obviously. You don't have to. It was rhetorical. Nothing. So why does he continue to get the benefit of the doubt after you've used your earliest first-round pick, and I don't even know when, the 15th overall pick, you drafted your quarterback. He had a pretty good, quote-unquote, promising rookie season, even though it was kind of skewed. Remember, they put up 50 like twice because, the schedule wasn't the hardest. So they did what they did. So that's why they got all those offensive things. But this year is not that much harder. And you got basically half of your offensive numbers this year with the same quarterback. So how the fuck is it that you're a GM and you're a coach and you are not prepared for Josh McDaniels leaving when he's been getting calls and offers since like 2014? For almost 10 years, the motherfucker was getting calls to become a head coach again. And he's rejected them all this time. But you never had a contingency plan. I'm very fucking confused as to how that's possible. And then your old demented ass doesn't want to hire nobody outside of your bum ass tree because you don't have a tree, because every person that leaves the fucking team is a horrible coach. Horrible. So you have no one in your tree, but yet you don't want to hire nobody else who has a fucking perspective of how the new NFL, as you eloquated, Tommy, the new NFL is. You don't know what you're doing anymore. And then what you are most known for is discipline. Why are you 7th highest in penalties if you are supposed to be a fucking coach who drives on discipline? 7th most. Cost you games, by the way. Ask Minnesota. Cost you games. Okay? And then you got that fucking Raiders shit where you have your retarded players doing fucking laterals on a tie game. On a tie game. You weren't losing. It was a tie game in which you basically dominated the entire second half of that game and got robbed the previous fucking play when that stupid bastard who no one knows whose name is didn't even score that touchdown in the first place. So what you do, you allow this shit to happen because you're not going to tell me that the players went rogue, because if you tell me the players went rogue, then that's even more of an indictment on you because that's never happened to you before. So how do you let your players go rogue on you? If that is not the case, then that means that you practice that lateral shit in the first place. So either way, it's still your fault. It's still your fault either way that happened. Okay? So what is the excuse now? Where was I wrong? Juan was not wrong. Juan was right. It might be time to go. Robert Kraft, we had an entire 20 to 25 minute soliloquy on this on Sports Dynasty after that stupid ass Raiders game. And Robert Kraft, I don't know why the fuck you haven't been into your office, because that's your motherfucker's team, not his. Fuck that guy. You're the one that's the billionaire. That's your office. You go to your office, you take that old man by the shirt and demand change, or you're gone. And I don't give a shit what you've done, because what you've done, and people don't seem to realize this part that really infuriates me. What you've done has nothing to do with what's happening right now. Past has nothing to do with what's going on right now. You've done the Super Bowl wins, but what have you done for me in the last 3 seasons? You've given me one and done, and possibly, I don't know yet, we'll find out in about 48 hours, you will probably give me 2 missed playoffs in the last 3 seasons. Okay? And there is so much more that I want to scream about, but then I might pop a blood vessel. So I think I should save my life. I should not grow any more gray hairs.
Trevor, do you know CPR though? Honestly,
and I think I should calm it down just a little bit.
My gosh,
I am
and that's
shocked. I'm
wow,
shocked.
Mike, I don't know how you did.
I'm shocked. I'm appalled right now from what I've heard.
Whoa!
I really am. I'm
gonna have to insult your franchise a little bit, because the fact that you're telling me this shit, you've been stuck in suck for so long that you do not realize that we don't want to end up like you. That's the problem. Why I'm so mad is because I don't want to be mediocre or worse for 20 or some odd years or longer. Hence why I am doing this. I don't understand, how is it possible that you're gonna actually still defend this old decrepit bastard for all everything that has been happening? And let me tell you right now, because you're probably thinking something different. I don't want him fired as a coach. He is the greatest coach of all time, and he still has something left in the tank as a coach. But here's the problem. The problem is he is not going to give up his general manager duties. Why would he do that if he is basically a god in where he is right now? So it's up to the freaking owner to step up, or it's time to start this franchise anew, because he is not going to fix his GM mistakes, because he was making these mistakes for a very, very, very long time. Very long time. That's the problem. It's not the coach that's the problem, kinda. It's more of the general manager for letting all this madness happen in the first place. And you just mentioned Mac Jones. I actually did not kill Mac Jones
Shame
at
on
all
you, Scott.
because I actually agree with both Tommy and Captain D about both of their Mac Jones takes, because Tommy's Mac Jones take was my take when he got drafted in the first place. Captain D's take is that how do you know this kid is not the answer when he doesn't have the appropriate help in the first place? And that is also true. But I am with both of you because I said it when he got drafted. I don't think he's the answer. He reminds me of a fucking Alex Smith. Basically, you are no different than an Alex Smith.
It's a good,
in my opinion.
I like that analogy.
Yeah, that's exactly what he is. And Alex Smith was good. He was a good quarterback who lasted in this league for a long time until unfortunately the fucking Redskins happened to him and then he couldn't play longer. But I agree that he's not in the next level that'll push me farther. Like Tommy said, how far are you going to go with a quarterback who's not better than just good? Who wins Super Bowls nowadays with a quarterback who's just good? Because if that was the case, San Francisco would have a Super Bowl right now if they could win with just a good quarterback. But if I'm not mistaken, that good quarterback overthrew a wide open Emmanuel Sanders for them to lose the game. If I'm not mistaken, that's what you need.
Same with Derek Carr too. Same with the Raiders. Raiders that struggle throughout.
That's where Tommy's point is. I actually don't hate Mac Jones as much as I make fun of him. I don't hate Mac Jones. I actually like the kid, but this year has been. The level of bullshit that kid has had to deal with since July really goes into the point of those bum-ass franchises that we destroy, like the Chicagos of the world, the Raiders of the world, all those disgusting franchises who never support their quarterbacks. That kid had to deal with that bullshit now. And under a Bill Belichick-led team, that's not supposed to ever happen in the first place. So again, if you want to defend him for no reason, go right ahead. But my point just now was going to destroy anything you got to say about the old man. That's not supposed to happen, but it happened under your tutelage.
I'll make it real short and sweet because we are going pretty far here. But number one, Scott, I'm going to give you back that 199 because that was not worth the epic rant. I'm calling shenanigans on this on that whole rant.
He don't know winning is, so what the hell does he say about it? If that's the answer, every person who's told me that has been a Jet or a Dolphin, and when the last time they won anything? Never, right? So that's why he doesn't understand it. Tommy, you get me. At least because you're winning now.
I am calling ultimate shenanigans on this rant. Send me your cash app so I can cash you back that 199 that you just sent because that was nonsense, utter nonsense. You guys were literally, this whole conversation, this whole rant would be completely different if that stupid play that went on in Las Vegas and things could desperately be different.
But
definitely be different. Things might be different. This conversation I'm just saying, conversation might be different.
It was not going to be different because I hated the team before that. But okay.
Looking even at the standings right now, I call this a lot of spoiled.
Actually, I like.
How many rings? How many rings? Yes. How many rings is going to take?
Okay, all right. Before because I got another podcast going. 15 minutes. So I'm going to pan this. I'm going to pan this out. I'm going to play mediator here, and I'm going to tell you this. Listen, D. Here's where I kind of.
Okay.
Listen,
right.
And then we're going to get out of here. I understand where Trevor and Juan saying, and by the way, Captain D, because you weren't on a lot this season, Trevor and Juan, for the most part,
they're number two in the division.
No, but listen. They're number two. But that's
Call
not the point.
Bad or good.
Captain D, that's not the point. So here's the point. They've been saying it you could see the writing on the wall. You know how that whole saying, right? You see the writing on the wall about whatever, basketball, baseball, football. Records sometimes doesn't always mean your team's going in the right direction, right? So just because you make the playoffs, and we were talking, I forget who we were talking about that. I think to the Jets guy when he was on, and I was saying it does because he was like, "Oh well." So it doesn't matter though. Listen, Captain D, for instance, let's say hypothetically, you guys make the playoffs, all right?
Who you said you were supposed to, by the way,
right? But let's say you do. Let's say you do. Are you still satisfied with your Dolphins team just because you got in the playoffs? but then you get, let's say you get in and out, you're done, and you're like, all right, that was pretty good, not bad. We're going to continue to do what we're doing. Or are you a realist and say, hey, we got there, but how did we get there? Like barely, we squeaked in. Things aren't going right. Tua, I'm not happy with this. I'm not happy with. We need a better running attack. This is all what you said. And I know because me and you are on the same boat, Captain D. We had bad teams for so long. And like just because, like for instance, 2017, we squeaked in the playoffs. We were 9-7. There was no way if I were to be like, bro, that's not big. Keep Tyrod Taylor. Let's keep that ship going. like we would be like an 8-1 team again and again and again. Like eventually, here's the deal: you cannot. I respect what Belichick's done for that team. That I'm sure that the fans do. He won Super Bowls, something that the Bills have yet to get one. The Dolphins haven't won one since 1972, right, or something like that. So I get, from me and Captain D, I get it. Like we're just like, damn, like how can you be so mad? But I understand because eventually times have changed, things have changed. Players get older, coaches get older, coaches lose their way eventually, right? And maybe the whole GM thing that used to work for Belichick, Captain D, isn't working anymore. That's the problem. So, like, you could kick and scream and say, I love our coach in Miami, but the GM and the owner are doing terrible. Well, guess what? You can get rid of the GM. Here's the problem with over there in New England. The GM and the coach are the same. You can't. So, and the guy, and he doesn't want to give up that the GM spot. So they're in a tough spot, and Kraft doesn't want to move on from him. So that's where things get tricky because I feel that if Belichick were to finally say, you know what, it's too much for me. I just want to be a great coach like I am and get me some help. Maybe the Patriots fans like Juan and Trevor will come back and go, you know what? Damn, this is a much better year. We got a GM in place. Belichick's doing his thing now. Now a GM is drafting these guys for him. Blah, 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 blah. Maybe it might work out, but if he's not willing to do that, then they're going to continue to be where they're at now, and fans are still going to continue to be mad because it's not changing. You know that, Captain D. Since Tom Brady's left, the Patriots are just barely either squeaking in the playoffs and they're getting their asses kicked right away in the playoffs, so what's the point? Or they're playing bad football all season, and they probably will miss the playoffs. So you don't want that as a fan base. You want to see improvement. You know that, Captain D. You know that. So that's where I'm going to leave it at that. On the mediator.
I think that's why he's doing this. He's enjoying it secretly. He's doing some Dr. Reed shit. Yeah, that's why he's saying it. Like, because I'm about to
keep Belichick as GM. I like
that. I like the reverse psychology. My God, you're the fucking smart.
Oh, Captain D.
Smart. Smart.
We love you, Captain D. We love you, man.
Reverse psychology.
We love you, guys.
So,
smart man.
Yeah. Anyways, guys, I have to go. This has been a great show. Awesome
great season as usual.
Yeah, awesome season, Captain D, man. Next season, V podcast. Is it getting kicked off? We doing it finally?
It is.
Okay,
Yes.
good. Because we need
awesome.
So we can have this conversation on your podcast.
Yeah.
And more than love, we would love
with
to
Dolphin
do that.
fans.
Yeah.
Right.
Yes,
We want that interaction. So next season,
nice.
hopefully, guys, Captain D, you heard it here first. Everybody in the chat, Captain D doesn't do it. I want you to really dig on him next season in this chat. I want you guys
as much as
mention
you want.
Yeah, I want you to mention it every day. Where you at? Where's your YouTube? I want you to kill him every single show. Just call him out every single one until he does it. So, anyways, guys, Trevor, any last words before we go?
Thank you so much, chat. We appreciate you all. I love you guys. Joe, Jose, Scott, Apex, Chewy, all you guys, Beth. The whole shebang, everybody who held us down for the whole year, love it, showing us support as well. Whenever we did our shows, host our show, coming over there to support us. You guys are the real MVP. Bills Mafia has always been good to us the last 2 seasons, and we love working with you guys, and we can't wait for next year. You guys are the greatest in the world, and we appreciate you guys very much. Thank you so much, guys.
Thank you, man. Captain D, any last words before we go?
Yes, thank you for having me on. It's been a pleasure. Go Dolphins tomorrow. I'm going to be next year definitely on the V podcast. So look out for that.
Oh, he said it twice, guys.
We can all entangle this together. So thank you so much for having me on. And Javante Davis, get out there, do your thing tonight, baby. Let's go.
All right, man. So, all right, guys. It was a great show once again. I appreciate you guys, Trevor Juan, always, man. You guys, this has been an epic run. I love it, man. This is our second season, going into our third next year, man. And we're gonna keep this thing going. Captain D, once again, I appreciate you, man. I know you had some problems in Florida with the hurricane, all that. That was not a good time for you. So I'm glad you bounced back, and we'll do it again next season. So until then, guys, we're out. Go Bills. Bills Mafia #1. We're out. Peace. See you later.
Peace.
I gotta go. Yo, that's my beeper. Yo, we gotta check that out next week, because right now I gotta go pick up my baby's mother. It's her birthday. We're gonna have a special night. We're gonna have a little candlelight dinner down at Kentucky Fried Chicken, drink some champagne, go home and watch Homie the Clown.
Yo, remember, always wipe and stay off the pipe.
And if a